Justin Gaethje just absolutely mocked Paddy Pimblett in their fight. Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. UFC 324, I think it's 324, it just took place. Technically it took place last weekend, but it happened. And I gotta say, bro, the main event was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. It was so entertaining. I loved it. I'm not gonna go over the whole event just because, you know, the fight leading up to the main event, the fights were cool. Not anything special. Sean O'Malley won his fight against Song Yadong. Waldo Costa, I don't know how to say his name. I would say knocked out Derek Lewis, but it was more like a TKO. And Gene Silva beat Brendan Allen, unfortunately. I was really hoping Brendan Allen would beat Gene Silva. Anyways, the main fight I want to talk about in this video is the main event, Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. That's generally one of the best fights I've seen in my life. And I'm not gonna lie. Usually I'm kind of ready to roast the UFC and complain about how the fights are trash and whatever. But recently, these fights have been really good. I mean, the Peter Yan Merab 2 fight, that was phenomenal. The Paddy Pimblett Justin Gaethje fight that just took place, amazing as well. Like, these fights are, so far I've been doing great. I actually been hella enjoying them. Anyways, fight starts. Leading up to the fight, I thought Paddy Pimblett was gonna win. I'll be honest with you guys. I thought that he would use his ground game and submit Justin Gaethje. Maybe get like a third, fourth round submission. Bro did not shoot one takedown throughout the whole fight. He was not trying to get that fight on the ground. And maybe just because Paddy was facing lower level competition, I thought that his jiu-jitsu was amazing. Maybe it still is amazing. Maybe he just chose not to use it. But yeah, bro, I really wish he would have taken it to the ground. Anyways, start fights, and then the first round, Paddy Pimblett almost gets dropped like 750 million times. I honestly I don't know how the fuck did this guy not get knocked out after the first round. That whole first round was hilarious. It was like watching cartoon characters fight each other. It was so goofy. And so the second round happened, and same thing. Paddy Pimblett almost gets dropped like 50 times, and it was just a back and forth. The fight was hella funny though, because it wasn't this like technical masterclass, even though it was more like a dogfight. Honestly, it was just them slugging at each other, which made it hella entertaining. It was just back and forth, one punch after another, after another, after another, after another. And I gotta be honest with you, listen, Justin Gaethje won. The whole time throughout this fight, I was thinking to myself, Ilya's gonna beat both of these guys. Great fighters, but if any of those two took a punch, any of the punches from Ilya, it's a whole different story. But yeah, so second round happens, same thing, back and forth. Justin Gaethje freaking knocks down Paddy Pimblett another 50 million times. But this time, one of the knockdowns, I will say, it was Justin Gaethje poked Paddy in the eye, and then the freaking ref didn't do anything about it. They didn't deduct a point, nothing. They saw the replay, they saw how bad it was, and they just let Justin Gaethje have it. That's BS. It was really bad eye poke. And I know you could make the argument, well, you know, the first time it could have been a warning. No, with the way his eye got effed up, where it was like slashed up, if it were up to me, I would have probably taken the points. I think they should deduct the point automatically for the first eye poke. The second you deduct the point, the second fighter's not going to do it anymore. The fact that you get a warning is just, it's only giving that much more of an incentive to want to do it, since you're going to be left off the hook the first time around. I thought that was BS. I really do think they should have given Paddy, sorry. They should have deducted the point from Justin Gaethje, because it would have changed the course of the fight, and it could have possibly been a draw, or maybe, I don't think Paddy would have won, but it could have been a draw. We could have saw a rematch, or we could have paid out. It would have had affected Paddy as much as it did with the loss. Spoiler alert, right? Third round, Paddy Pimblett actually picks it up. He starts, he stops backing up towards the cage, which heavily messed him up during the fight. I should say Justin Gaethje was backing him up towards the cage. And in the third round, he low-key had this like realization, this like revelation almost. He flipped the switch where he started pressure jabbing Justin Gaethje in the middle of the octagon and not backing up anymore. And that essentially won him the third round. And he hurt Justin Gaethje pretty good. He didn't drop him, but he did do some good damage, winning him the third round. Fourth round, you'd think that he would, redo the same thing, get back in the middle, start jabbing the same way he won the third round, but instead, Justin Gaethje starts backing him up. Essentially what happened was Justin Gaethje was able to land the better shots throughout the whole of the fourth round. And then the last and fifth round, it was pretty close. It was a good, nice back and forth. It was I wouldn't lead one way or the other, but if I did have to pick, I would say Paddy would have won the fifth round. But first, second, and fourth round easily went to Justin Gaethje. Third went to Paddy, and then the fifth can be debated whether it was Paddy or Justin. All in all, it was pretty obvious that Justin Gaethje won. because, you know, every time they would get on the bottom and, like, you know, when there was takedowns, I would even call them takedowns, Paddy would get dropped, Justin Gaethje would get on top of him and just hold him down. If you count that as control time, it would go towards Justin. And even though you could say that Paddy was landing more punches, Justin was doing more damage, and he dropped Paddy a couple times. I don't think Paddy ever dropped Justin in the fight. So it was pretty telling that Justin Gaethje won. I don't think anyone would argue that Paddy won. I will say this though, it was so entertaining. It was genuinely, when I was watching this fight, I was on the edge of my seat. You know, Paddy Pimblett, he had a freaking chin, bro. That guy was not getting knocked out. He got knocked down like 3 times, and every single time he got back up and fought. Bro, he's a beast. He's an animal. He just has to work a lot on his striking, and I still don't understand why he didn't take down Justin Gaethje or try to fight him, only like try to grapple with him. We've known for a long time that Justin Gaethje has a weakness to grappling. He got submitted by Charles, got submitted by Khabib. Granted, those two are the best grapplers in the world, the best grapplers you can go up against. And if you want to be submitted by anyone, it'd be those two because they're the greatest. But still, Paddy is a good grappler, or at least I think he is. So he should have did that, but I guess he decided to slug with him. Regardless, it was a hella good fight. Now, what's next for Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett? Well, for Justin, he's gonna be fighting Ilya next. I'm pretty sure he's fighting Ilya. I mean, it would only make sense, right? And then for Paddy Pimblett, that's a good question. You know, I don't think you should give him someone that far out from the rankings. Like, definitely don't give him someone outside the top 10. So it has to be someone in the top 10. But someone like, you know, let's see. Mateusz Gamrot is coming off of a loss, so you can maybe give Paddy Mateusz Gamrot. That would be a good fight. Mateusz Gamrot is a grappler mainly, but he just got submitted by Charles. Maybe it'll turn into a slugfest because now, like, when one grappler faces the other. Who knows? And if Paddy can beat Mateusz Gamrot, he can and sling together another 2-3 wins. He can possibly fight for the title again. That's one fight you can do. Another fight you could do is maybe like, you could do Paddy versus Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker's coming off of a loss against Armin. You could do Paddy just lost to Justin, so that would be a great fight. You could do Paddy versus Mateusz Gamrot, like I just said. You could do Paddy versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit Saint-Denis just won against Beneil Dariush a knockout. Paddy is obviously coming off a loss, but Paddy's in the top 10. Benoit is top 8, top 7. So that'd be a good fight for both. If Benoit wins against Paddy, he can be in the top 5, or you could argue maybe he fights for the title. Maybe he would have to win another one after that. But point is, you could do that. So there's a lot of different matches you could do for Paddy. I just don't think he should be fighting anyone outside the top 10. That's kind of obvious, I feel like. Listen, I want to say this though. I don't think it's the end for Paddy Pimblett. There's a lot of things he could still do. He's only 31 years old, and he's still, you know, relatively young for a UFC fighter. He still has a long way to go. Not a long way to go. There's still a lot he can do in this sport, and there's still a chance he can become a world champion, no doubt about it. We're probably going to see Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria. I mean, they say that he's going to fight at the White House. I don't know how true that is. If it is, I got my money on Ilia. I feel like Ilia just proved himself too much, and I don't see how, with the way Justin Gaethje just fought Paddy, even though he won, with the amount of damage he took from the fight, I don't see him being able to take the same amount of damage for Ilya. So yeah, that's it for this video. My bad for not releasing in a couple days. I've just been trying, well, the whole UFC drought was tough. It was tough to make videos, man, you guys. Coming up with ideas that were compelling. I didn't want to make random videos and just toss trash at you guys. So we're back though. UFC's finally back. This new Paramount deal has finally arrived. The first event was amazing. I'm very happy with how that turned out, and I appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.